turn it down. Turn Freddie Mercury robot way down. So, MC700, surround sound processor. Purchased by Zeos over 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. I got this when it first debuted. It was on sale for $500, and I'm like, this will be perfect for my sim racing cockpit. So the idea was going to be that I would mount this somewhere on the side. I would get separate amplifiers, or I would do a vintage like amp for the 590s. I bought that phase linear, and I was going to put the phase linear on top. I was going to power my fucking Studio 590s. I was going to do race sim. You were going to start that Shelby Daytona, and it was going to blah, 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 blah out of those. And I've done it, and it was amazing. But then I was going to have probably 3 powered monitors in the back, because it's a surround sound processor, not a receiver. If you've seen my recent video on Home Theater 102, where I talk about buying a receiver, I come in here and talk about this for a second. And we're going to, while I'm reviewing it, so I'm going to explain exactly what's going on. But the goal was to have this there, sitting down, doesn't generate heat. Just a little volume knob, and I could change the sound modes, and I could adjust individually, and it would have been fine. It would have been fine. Fast forward to 3 years, and nothing's done over there. And I'm sitting here with this thing, I'm like, well, I should really review it. I should really review it. Because I've got words. Minimize this. Minimize. Freddie, Farouk, go down for a second. Oh. Should I unplug it first and show you? I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to go with the dangerous route of unplugging it. We're going to shut this off. Powering off. It's got hybrid standby. I should probably explain what's going on as far as the setup, because y'all are going to ask. Here's my laptop. My laptop is outputting HDMI into this unit, into the first HDMI input. Then this has 2 outputs, and one of those outputs is going to this 27-inch BenQ. So pretend this is your living room. Pretend this sits there. This is a Blu-ray player. That's your 70-inch television or projector on the wall. And we're going to go about our business. But first you want to look at it. So I'm going to power it off and unplug all... Oh, that's going to be annoying, isn't it? The things that are plugged in. You need to stop. I think it'll go to bed? Think it'll just be blue forever? Hey, did you see Zeos got blown? Oh, it's in the back. Stupidest place ever. Anyway, it's nice and light. Here's the fascia. Smudged, years of use. Volume knob. Digital volume knob. Screen really doesn't tell you much. Volume and input. We'll get to it. There's a headphone out, which I've tested. I wasn't testing it just now. This has been plugged into that, which is the SMSL SP200. Which has become like my little, it's a small little amp. Pull it out and test with it. It's way easier to hook up than the 789 because it just takes full 110 to the back. But the headphone out on this, I'll get that out of the way, actually pretty fucking decent. Pushing Neumanns, I was close to 0. Like, if going up in volume is 0, I was at like negative 3 dB. But absolutely worthwhile to check out plugging into this versus like other power amps. Up, down, left, right, enter. They make cool noises when you hit it. Let's flip it around. Here's the bottom. Here's its ass, which is the important part. Whenever you're looking at a home theater receiver, like I said at the end of that video, you want to look at its ass. This is the important bit. How it looks in the front doesn't matter. You want to look at 2 things, actually. You want to look at the remote, and you want to look at its ass. So here's the ass of the MC700. Power on this side. We have 12-volt trigger here, which is for turning on other equipment. You could actually... had a projector that would turn on if you had this wired to it. If you don't want to run macros and all sorts of infrared repeaters. Here's infrared in and out. If in case you want to put this in a cabinet, you can actually put a receiver outside the cabinet. USB update, which I actually did, and we got to talk about that for a second. Want to talk about it right now? Okay. This unit has some old problems. It feels old. I know I said I only got like 2.5 years ago, but that's ancient in terms of like surround processors. And firmware updates are available for this. So I pulled out this Patriot 128 gig USB key, and I read the firmware instructions, and I went, wait, it wants me to format FAT32. You can't format a 128 gig FAT32. I had to go rummage through my drawer to find an 8 gig, or a smaller one. I forget what the actual size limit is, so that I could format this to FAT32 to upgrade the firmware, or you can't upgrade the firmware. So keep that in mind. You've got to keep around an old USB key if you want to do this. Digital inputs. This has what looks like a USB for Bluetooth. See the Bluetooth logo? It's a separate module you have to buy. Doesn't come with Bluetooth. Again, it's got an age problem. Optical input, coaxial digital input, just one of each. Here are your analog inputs. You get 2 sets. That's nice. Your HDMIs, which I think are what you're going to use this for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. 2 outputs. When this unit was here and my computer was there, the way it worked was the computer had a DisplayPort to HDMI cable going here, plugged into the HDMI 1 input, and then that 43-inch 4K and that 40-inch 4K were both shared on the outputs of this. And the only issues I had were that monitor on a 25-foot length wouldn't pick up the HDCP, and it would just literally start flashing off and on every once in a while. But if I hooked that monitor up to it and ran it at the same time, everything was easy peasy, perfect. And now the difference between here, ready? That's a receiver. That's what's on a receiver. These would be rare in a receiver, and then you have speaker outs. There are no speaker outs. The whole point of a surround sound processor is it's to process the signal, just like any surround receiver can do, but without the amplifiers. My Tascam in the other room has everything this has, and pre-outs and amplifiers. So we get these 7. We have a microphone input. This does have a room correction mic, which is somewhere. I think it's actually like right there, but I'm not going to dig for it now. You know what a microphone looks like. So we'll do microphone calibration. However, it's Emotiva's own proprietary version of it. It's not Audacity. It's not Dirac Live. It's like Emo Adjust or something. So what you need to do, if you buy one of these, one of the reasons you'd buy one of these, Emotiva is an amplifier company. First. That's their number one selling thing, is we build amplifiers. And they used to build just stereo ones, and they did 5-channel and 7-channel. So you'd buy this, and then you'd have to use amplifiers in every channel. Except for the subwoofer, which is right there or there. So this actually does have a subwoofer out that's an RCA, and a subwoofer out that's a full XLR, which is interesting, because this is why you could run more distance, less interference for like 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet, whatever. That's a nice feature. I'm currently converting my living room, my standard RCA, into an XLR just to use a cheaper wire. Anything else we gotta look at back here? HDMI logos are trademarks. It has 25 watts of power consumption. I think we're done. Let's look someplace else now. Ready? I do this for you people. See else voids warranties. I figure this would be much more interesting to look at. Not much in here. Definitely designed to smuggle drugs. But that's the point. There's less in here than a surround receiver. You ever look inside a surround receiver? There's huge transformers and banks of heat sinks because they have amplifiers in them. There is no amplifier in this. This is just HDMI board control. This is a power supply that outputs 12 volt, 5 volt, 12 volt, 5 volt. Which means you could honestly run this off a power brick if you really wanted to. And it could be made this big. So it's just being spread out across the box for the reasons, because it has to sit in a stack. But this is all you need to make surround sound go. The end. Your front panel's here, some ribbon cables that go to it, feed a little headphone out, control the front. Let's hook it back up. We need to talk about... there we go. Excuse the lame, weird setup we currently have going on. What are you doing? 1. And I'll try not to electrocute myself. And I'll try to remember where I have everything plugged in. 2. And obviously I don't have a surround sound hooked up at my desk. I apologize for not going all out with this. But we're not really here to talk about like the state of surround sound. That's the other videos. This is specifically to talk about the failings and features of the MC700 surround sound processor. All right, so what I've got going on and how I've been testing it recently is SP200 headphone amplifier. I got some XLR adapters so I could use the RCA outputs of this for front channels, and then I flipped a switch, rear channels, so I could actually listen with my set of Neumann, my second set of Neumanns actually. And it's interesting because, let me turn that back on, we might get blue, or we're gonna get that. Flippy switch. We're blinking. If this is too bright, I'll cover it. Do you know if it's too bright? I don't know if it's too bright. I think it's just more interesting to look at. Look, I don't spit in it. Okay, it's initializing. Loading. Version 2.9.3. It was at 2.8.1 before I started today. Now it's at 2.9.3. There we go. Okay. It didn't know what was happening. Now that you know what's happening. Okay, we're good now, right? Right? Thank God. Yes? Freddie Mercury? Or negative 46. Gotta bring that shit up. So, what I've got going on here is basically I'm running an analysis pass on this surround sound. Or did it change output devices because I unplugged it? Hold on. No, it didn't. I'll close this and reopen it. Actually, we could open up Black Snake Moan, which is another great listening movie. I ain't playing. If you haven't seen Black Snake Moan, go see Black Snake Moan. If you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, go see Bohemian Rhapsody. What I'm trying to assess with this is it worth the current price? I paid $500 for it 3 years ago. 3 years ago, this unit felt outdated by 10 years. Now, 3 years later, with a firmware upgrade, it feels like it's outdated by 10 years and $730. It's one of those things that bothers me. I don't understand why putting you could take any surround sound receiver off the shelf, any Yamaha or Denon. You could open it up on a bench and yank out all the amplifiers and say, we don't have to put these in something. Charge more for this then. It's not a Porsche GT3 RS. You're not paying more to make it lighter. This thing isn't going around a track. I'm going to say it's overpriced, but that's just the price of this particular style of thing. No one's out there buying separates. No one in mass. No one's going, hey, the Super Bowl's coming. I'm going to go get a surround sound processor and then amplifiers and then I'm going to room correct it. People just buy bulk shit at Best Buy. This is a specialty item. Having something that is stripped of its amplification should make it cheaper. It doesn't in this case. It doesn't in any case. I just sent an email to a company that has another 7.1 surround sound processor, $1,500. Now, here's the thing. I do know why some of that cost is there. When you do surround sound, DTS, Dolby, THX, HDMI, all those places want to get paid. You can't just support DTS HD. You have to license it. So I do understand a bit of the cost. Emotiva is a relatively small manufacturer. They're not Yamaha. They're not Onkyo. They're small. So it's got to be a huge burden for them to even support it. That's why Mini DSP, if you heard my rant on the Mini DSP, their little units don't decode Dolby or DTS or anything. Not decoding at all and running just pure PCM means it's free. Now they pay for DRAC Live. If you load DRAC Live onto a Mini DSP, the price goes $200 higher. So why this doesn't have DRAC Live? Because they don't want to put $200 more onto the price tag. That's why. Here's why you're buying one of these. Let's get that out of the way. I know this from testing with my Tascam receiver, which is actually a Integra 30.4, which is actually an Onkyo. The problem with a lot of surround sound processors is the DACs. I actually spent a good deal of time talking with the benchmark guy at Capital Audio Fest because they had a very, very specific setup there. They had a Blu-ray player, and that Blu-ray player was special where that it had digital outputs for the 8 channels. 8 channels, when you're going about a 7.1 processor, it's 8 channels. Front, left, right, side, left, right, back, left, right, center, and subwoofer. That's 8 channels. And you are reliant on this unit in particular. You are fucking reliant on the DACs in here being of quality. Just like when we talk about listening to music. Like, oh, here's a $6,000 audio valve. It's got a $1,000 DAC in it to feed the rest of the unit to feed it. I've got the Geshelli Labs stuff here. Not that expensive. What, $130, $160 for the Enog 2 Pro? It varies because of sales. But that's $160 for 2 channels. Just 2. Now, yeah, it's in a case, and you wouldn't need the case. And it's got a separate power supply, and you wouldn't need the power supply. So let's strip all that down. The actual circuitry and design work that goes into something like a Geshelli Labs Enog 2 could probably be done for about $100 for 2 channels. Now we need 8 channels, which means we need can I make pairs like that? Now we need 4 stereo DACs. So guess what most surround processors are doing? Or let me just rephrase that. Guess what all surround processors are doing? Receivers, separates, doesn't matter. They're going cheap on the DACs. They have to. They can't shove $400 in DACs in this unit because then it would cost $400 more. No one would buy it because no one cares if it says, you know, oh, by the way, each individual channel has a separate high quality blah, 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 blah. No, I don't care. I'm sure someone cares. I'm sure there's like a $6,000 preamp phono processor or surround processor that has perfect DACs in it. Burr Browns all the way. Lexicon or something. So I was sitting here either watching movies or listening to music because obviously HDMI setup. I set this to Wasapi shared HDMI. I put on Low Yan. Put on Low Yan. And I was just listening to music through this, using this as my DAC. And it's not terrible. They've got it just good enough. Even I will admit, like watching TV sound will never match like a high quality FLAC recording in the studio. You can get away with it. That's why when people have like living rooms and they're just soundbar replacements, I'm okay with recommending a DAC amp combo that costs $100. But if you're getting obsessive, which going with a separate system like this is starting that process where I need now at least 2 channels amplification for stereo, 4 channels for officially surround sound. You got to add another monoblock for center. And then, oh wait, you want back channels? So that's that. 7 channels of amplification. Subwoofers are self-powered. You don't have to worry about it. Something like this would be amazing if it had also a digital output for each pair of channels. There is a problem though, and I discussed this with the benchmark guy. Copyright infringement. When you are giving out a digital signal and it's coming from a copyrighted source, they can't allow that. That's why HDCP exists, which is high definition content protection. Right? Right. That's why some TVs, some older TVs don't work anymore. Because it says, hey, are you a recorder? And if this thing doesn't get a no back, it just doesn't work. It just fucking doesn't work. So they're not going to give you pure, unadulterated sound that's in digital form. That means that one guy in Tulsa can fucking copy the audio off of a Blu-ray, and that would be the end of the world. Obviously, the entire movie industry would collapse. Endgame would have made no money, and we'd be over. We'd be fucking over. I don't like HDCP. I don't like copyright protection on anything. Because the number of people it's protecting against is like such a phenomenally small amount that to burden all of us, people who are not fucking pirates. Hi, tubers. You're here. Yeah, you. Yeah, the tubers. Oh, phone, boom, boom. Oh, it's DMS. DMS is popular today. To burden all of us with that bullshit is annoying. Why? Why did you sleep? What did you just do? I moved the chair. Do I have to pause this video and fix this now? Good. Oh, it's a playback error. Wasabi terminated. Great. I'm going to count it up as a hiccup. All right. Basically, the main test for this was, how's the sound quality? Because I can judge it. I have my most trusted fucking headphones. I have a clean as fuck amplifier. Like as fuck. Chewbacca, you know how clean as fuck is? I know exactly how clean that is. I'm running good quality RCAs. By the way, links to those world's best RCAs. I don't believe in better cables, but I love nice ones. And these feel like they're expensive. I know. I'll play with you later. I already fed you. Is her static electricity fucking with this? It's every time I touch the cat. I may have to kick her and make her run away. Alright, I didn't find any glaring problems with the DAC. That's all you gotta know. Oh, and by the way, it's really cool to be able to flip a switch and be listening to... I've obviously disabled the center channel in this so that I get the left and right with the center mixed in. And I was watching movies with it. And then I flipped to XLR, which is the surround channels. And I had to bump them up. You're the devil. You're literally the devil right now. And I can't put you on the chair because it's holding all my extra headphones while I was cleaning up. Okay. And I had to put up 4.5 decibels to get it to be balanced with what the XLR was. So the XLR input of this, I just figured out, it requires 4.5 decibels less. She's gonna mute around until I I'll deal with you later. I'm trying to work here. I'm putting food on the table for you and your family. I'm her family. There is no other family. Here's the problem. We get to this problem. I've been trying to get to the problem for a while. It's got an old problem. It works. Look, it works. I plug it in, it all works. It'll absolutely do everything they say it will do. But when you look at it compared to things on the fucking menu, like you can get a Denon, or you can get, this is an Onkyo remote, because I have a Tascam, it's an Onkyo. You're starting to see less. Listen to her. Are you in heat? Her tail touched the table and that went off. Satan. Come here, Satan. Come here. I'm gonna go put Satan on her bed. Here, look. Oh, look at this giant box. Oh, I know. We'll play with that. Oh, yeah, there's something in the hole. Go play with the giant box. Love you, baby. That's a monoprice 15-inch THX sub. Got to unbox that. Where was I? I was playing music. I was watching movies. I was listening to the quality of the DACs in this. They're not terrible. I don't think they... I think if I went out and got a JDS Labs EL deck and put it in to the analog inputs and then told this to just output that to this, it would sound better. Because that's what I was doing on my Tascam. I actually had an ODAC in there, and it just sounded better. I could switch between HDMI and the external DAC, and it was better. The problem with this is visible in this remote control. First of all, I want to point out, I do not fucking like Emotiva's new remotes. They used to have expensive feeling metal remotes. I don't have mine here for the XDA2 because I use it in the other apartment to control something else with FLIRC. But this plastic, like with the shiny, look, you see how disgusting this is? I didn't clean it. I've just been using it. Just today, because I don't really use this remote. And they just, shiny plastic, number one, is bad on everything. Shiny plastic around the bezel, this, garbage. Matte bezel, great. Matte black, great. Matte, great. Shiny, oh, that can pass because it's German. But you could just see from these remote controls that there's a whole lot less going on with the Emotiva stuff. And for $730, I kind of want more. I kind of want Bluetooth built in. Let's hit the button. Let's just look at the remote first. Dim dims the front or brightens the front, and you have fucking 11 levels if you count off as a level. So you have 11 levels of dimmer on the front. Fine. Power, mute. If you hit mute, it says mute. It's got a decently... Actually, can I tilt this without fucking anything up? It's got a decent resolution on the screen, as you can see. It's got 2 layers. If we change the volume, half decibel increments. Hard to see from far away. That's one of the things I like about other receivers is they have a big, chunky letters and numbers that say, you're at -70 or you're at +7. Don't fuck those two up. Blue ring, which actually, did that dimmer dim that too? Yeah, it did. Okay. Because now you can have it completely go off or dim. Just for this blue fucking ring, I'd probably have to leave it dimmed all the time. HDMI 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're not labeled TV, cable, whatever. They're just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the way Yamaha does it, by the way. I want to point that out. Then you have your selection of the audio device, which is interesting because you can put HDMI 1 on like we have. Then you can hit analog. And now HDMI 1 is still outputting, but it's using the analog 2-channel input. Or you could hit it again and it's the 2nd channel analog 2-channel input. Or you could hit ARC and try to get the audio return channel coming from the TV back, like if you're using a streaming service. And then you have the digital, which is coaxial, optical, Bluetooth. Or you just hit HDMI and HDMI. So you can actually, on the fly, choose which audio input for the video input you're using. That's not a feature you get on normal receivers. So you start to get a flavor for like, oh, this has got to be for an enthusiast. And it is. And they're charging you the enthusiast price. Then we have menu, exit, trim, mode, info, up, down, left, right, enter. Menu and exit, we'll get to. Trim, we'll also get to. Does it change the screen? No, trim is... when you're doing level balancing between. And you hit trim, and literally it says trims center 0, front right 0, surround left, surround right, back left, back right, subwoofer, midnight off, center width, dimension. So it's got a hotkey for doing the actual leveling because they know the people who are buying this are going to be obsessive tweakers like I am. So if I was sitting there, if this was actually being used for its purpose, and I was sitting there racing, and I'm like, you know, the left rear speaker is open air, and the right one's against the wall. It kind of sounds like that one's a little bit more present. I should probably lower the volume. I could do that in like 6 button presses. Normally, on this unit, which is in the other room, I know exactly what it takes. Home, down, down, enter, up, up, enter, down, down, enter, right, 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 and then I pick the fucking... That's how many clicks it takes to get to adjust the levels. This, I could do it through a button. Mode. Now, this has the modes here. Movie, music, game, THX. You could pick the different surround modes. And this is a little less options. Currently, with what we have going on, which is just music playing there. I want to make sure it is still playing music there. There we go. I was on XLR. I got to go to RCA because that has no back channels. So on this, I hit mode. I have a choice of stereo, which direct means no adjustments, straight out pushing to the speakers, or in this case, to the amplifier. And then stereo is your cutoffs, your equalizations, and your subwoofer are stereo. And then we have all stereo, which means if you have 8 channels, all of them play the same thing. And then direct again. When you have a surround sound movie playing, if I stopped this, minimized it, brought this up, brought up Bohemian Rhapsody, go to the part here in Chapter 9 where they're all talking in the thing. And now it says DTS Master Audio 48K LCR LSR. It literally lists the number of channels that are in use. None of the receivers don't do that. That's cool as fuck. So now if we go through mode, we have direct, stereo, all stereo, DTS HD Master. It doesn't let you pick the other ones. Sometimes it'll let you pick like Dolby PL2 Logic, and it'll let you expand a source. All right. Info just changes the front. So instead of saying the input, it says direct DTS HD 00. So not much to do with info, not really information, is it? And I want you to note, nothing's popping up on the screen right now. Like we are currently watching something. This monitor is acting like a TV. If I hit menu, though, here's where we start getting into the real fucking problem. First of all, blue screen. We're still waiting. If there was audio playing, by the way, it would have stopped. To bring us here. Did my BIOS crash on my laptop? Wait, no. BIOSes are much nicer than this now. We just entered the fucking time machine. We just went back. Way back to like 2000 on an old Dell. Where are we? What is this? Is this the menu? This is the menu. This is the fucking menu. This is why people who buy this are going to laugh and then return it. Because I've used a 6-year-old Marantz Slimline. My roommate's before he left here, when I first moved in here. And when you hit the menu, the video kept playing, and an opaque, transparent screen came up with full visualizations of everything you were doing. And it navigated quickly and intuitively. When you hit the menu on this, all sound stops. The TV will click off saying no signal for a second. Then this happens. That's why you can tell Emotiva doesn't make surround processors or receivers. This shit is archaic. Like, there's nothing playing right now. There's no sound. There's no Freddie Mercury. Nothing's happening out of these headphones. And it's not trying to display the background. You have entered a shadow zone. And when you first enter, you have these 4 things on top: input, mode, trims, and setup. If you head to the right, you switch between those 4 tabs. If you want to get to setup and you think you could hit left to jump around because it would cycle, you're wrong. Hitting left actually exits the menu, which puts us back through the entire cycle. And we're back to the desktop. I'm actually going to run the movie so you could hear what happens. These will play loud enough because, that's too quiet. We need to get to where it's rocking and rolling. No gay stuff. Hashtag no gay stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with gay stuff. I just don't want to use it as my sound test. Okay. Okay. Audio's done. Dead screen. Black screen. Menu. Fuck. Okay. The menu sucks. But we can access more features. More features that this has and other surround processors don't. Or other surround receivers don't. So I'll have to give them that. So let's scroll down. You know not to go... The navigation is so fucking weird. So right now I have input selected. Even though that's red, the input selected and it's white. If I hit right, I go to mode. If I hit left, I go back to input. I hit down, now input's red, and that's red and selected. So that's literally just to pick your input. That's it. And then over the right, it tells you which audio is selected. Remember how we could switch between analogs or ARC or digital? So HDMI 1 and currently HDMI 1 is the audio that's selected. This is it. This is all you could do in this particular menu is switch between them. And then Bluetooth says no remote device. Again, what it doesn't have, it could have Bluetooth, but it doesn't. I mean, it's not like I can get an MPAL fucking adapter or that Tautronics, link to the Tautronics Bluetooth, which is actually this one here charging. This thing is like $60 and it's got digital outputs and it runs on a battery and it's got like 200 feet of range and it can transmit or receive. Why do I have to buy a module for this? Because you know, just a receiver that's half as good as this will not cost you that much money. Just include it, please. People who want Bluetooth, you should just come with. Unless they have to pay another royalty for Bluetooth, I don't know. So now we want to move over to mode. So we've got to go left, but not left twice, or we leave the menu. We go left until that's selected now. Now we hit right, and now we have the mode, which is a button on here that we can pop through all the different surround options. And here are all the surround options. Direct stereo, all stereo, Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby PL2X, Dolby Expanded EX, which means if you have a 5.1 signal and you have 7.1 surround, it'll bump more to the rear or to the back channels, and then it'll expand it out. Dolby True HD, DTS, DTS ES, DTS HRA, DTS LRA, DTS MA. I have no idea what HRA and LRA are, by the way. I've never seen those before. And then DTS Neo 6. And you have the other options of going to music or cinema in that. And I think I have to click it and then pick if I want music or cinema. So I have those options on there. It's just I don't have to pick them through the menu. I could just hit them through the buttons. Now I'm going to go back to direct. Now, if you're listening to music, direct is probably the way to go because it doesn't fuck with it. But if you're listening to a movie, you do want all your distance settings, trims, EQs all count so you wouldn't run direct. So let's get out of this by hitting left. Now we're up to the top. Now we hit right again. Now trims. This is just the thing again we access with the one button here. Oh, you're back, aren't you? You escaped from the subwoofer? Oh, please don't shut it off. Oh, she's so fucking cute. All right, what can I ground out on? If I hold this and then touch her? Yeah, baby. Yeah. Download Cat in the description. Trims are just decibel trims. They're just volume trims. And my receiver in the living room can go plus or minus 12 decibels. This receiver can go plus or minus 10 decibels. Which is like a little... Like, why not 12? Why not 12? And once you go past the front, center, left, right, that, you get midnight mode. Which, let me explain midnight and loudness. Again, I've done it before. Midnight mode means it's midnight. You want to keep watching TV or your movie. You don't want to wake up or bother your neighbors or your kids. You put on midnight mode, you lower the volume, and then the low end and speech come up just a little bit so that you could still sort of get like a flavor of low end. Because if you just have it playing normally and lower the volume, it gets dull. Midnight adds a little more pizzazz. She's just building up static shock and walking around in circles. I'm going to be electrocuted to death. She's like a Charizard. No, wait, that was fire. She's like fucking Pikachu. You're a Pikachu? You're going to shock the shit out of me, aren't you? Geek. So midnight mode, you only don't put on midnight mode and then play it loud. That's you being a dick. Don't put on loudness and then play it loud. Midnight mode and loudness are roughly the same thing. They're designed to make it sound louder when it's actually lower. Center width. You can assign, if you have 3 channels in front, You can have it take the center channel and blend it a little bit with the sides, or a lot, depending on what you do. And then center dimension is, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't know. I didn't actually sit around and play with it. We'll play with it later. Those are your trims. The real meat is in the setup menu, where we have input config, input setup. So here's where you choose your HDMI, the video. So HDMI 1, which is what we're set to. These are all the options for HDMI 1. So we go over. Now we got video. And now you can pick which video input. And I don't know why you'd fucking change HDMI 1 to it. I love my cat. I'm not going to beat my cat. I'm not going to beat you. No matter how much you want me to beat you. You weirdo. Come on. You're playing with things. You're playing with things you shouldn't be playing with. Just. Is she ruining? All right. In the comments of this video, please tell me, is she ruining this video or is she making it tolerable? Because she's doing one of those two things. People want to learn about a surround sound processor, baby. People are learning about a surround sound processor. Do you know anything about surround sound processors? Do you know why they cost more than regular receivers? Like, I know there's a supply and demand thing, but maybe if they made like a $225 surround sound processor, people would buy it. And then people would buy more amplifiers from Emotiva. Maybe that's the fucking way they should go about this. So yeah, I don't understand why you could change the HDMI input for HDMI 1. And then you could also change the audio's HDMI input to another HDMI. So you could have HDMI 1 set, then you could take the video from HDMI 3, and you could take the audio from HDMI 5. Why the fuck would anyone need that? Now I could grasp if you're using the video from one. If I just ignore her, she'll go away. I don't want her to go away. I love her. She's old. You're 15 years old. You know that? Next year you can get your driver's license. You can start learning to drive. You're my old lady cat. Look at her claw at me. It's so cute. This is going to be a 45-minute video because of you, baby. I'd have it no other way. So I can understand wanting a different input, whether you're using a different output or if you're going to run video from your computer, but you don't want to run the audio from it and you want to use a separate DAC. Then you could switch to the analog inputs for that. So that's an option. That's fine. Renaming. I tried to rename HDMI 1. And all I got was HDMI 1/L. Because you see how it's flashing? Oh, now I shocked it. Bad girl. She's making me shock things. I'm also wearing rubber shoes. Maybe that's not helping. HDMI 1/L. L is blinking. Now if I can move the cursor around. So here, the letter M. So we got the letter M. Enter. What fucking game ever was this badly laid out? So now we've selected a character on another screen that we can't see now. The M. Remember we selected the M? Yeah, I remember it now. So now I can hit delete and delete the M. Or change the M to numbers or capital A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Who did this UI? Fire them. And here's lowercase and here's special characters. So let's put a star in there, an asterisk. Enter. Great. So now I have HD asterisk I1. And now I can move over and do that. You have to do that for every character. Every character. You know how fucking hard it would be? How annoying? How stupid? I was going to have it say laptop. I'm like, oh, I'll change the laptop, which is why it's an L, because it's my laptop. Stop. That's horseshit. I just upgraded the firmware. Can't you fix that into like a more usable thing? Okay, here's a question. How the fuck do I get out of this now? Because back is left. And it's just moving the cursor. And I know if I hit exit, it's not going to know to exit this edit prompt. It's going to leave the whole fucking menu, isn't it? Yes. Fuck. It's fine. Hey. Audio's back on. Back to the menu. It feels like I'm using a fucking 486 with the floppy disk drive. It's got some really advanced features. We're getting to them. I'll get to them. Rename obviously doesn't work. Lip sync is you got to change slight delay in the audio so that if your video processes slower because you have a giant TV, sometimes they're like a 5 millisecond delay. You could add 5 milliseconds of audio delay, which is what lip sync is. Input level, which can change if you have several inputs and one is quieter. For some reason, your Dreamcast is quieter than your Xbox One. You can trim up the volume, so you don't have to go between inputs and raise and lower the volume to make everything sound the same. Trigger is the 12-volt trigger. So that's your current thing. You could also disable an entire input. So if you're only going to use one, you could disable 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this way you don't have the option of accidentally switching between things. Can we get out of setup now? At least input. That was just input setup. Mode setup. No, we got to go back again. Mode setup. Okay. So, for the analog inputs, you could use last used, or you gotta force it to do any one of these. So it's the same. Analog, PCM, multi-channel, PCM, Dolby 2.1, all the things we could choose before. Dolby HD, DTS HD, DTS ES, Master Audio, and you could tell it to use the last used, or if you're in Master Audio, if it detects Master Audio, set it to Master Audio, which is what I just did. Easy enough. Fast, too. Sometimes this basic menu shit is faster. But other times, I want to jump off a bridge. Speaker setup, auto EQ, and option. Let's go to option first. It's low default inversion, by the way. Option first, on-screen display depth. That literally is just how, that should be for if it was transparent, how much you could see through it. But it's not. On-screen display depth is 8. If I make it lower than that, the screen gets dimmer or brighter. And it's not this screen, that screen. Don't touch it. OSD pop-up, on-screen display pop-up, which should show volume and everything. I don't think it even works. I don't even think this can put something over the video. Like a lot of receivers, when you hit the volume control, you could have it pop up on the TV or something and show that you are lowering the volume. By the way, that wallpaper. She's just there. It's got beautiful hair. I love rough sketches like that. That's like one of my favorite things. Just rough. No one spent the time to clean it up. It's fine. No one spent the time to clean this up. It's fine. People are still going to buy this. I'm still going to recommend it. I just hope to fucking Christ their newer stuff is just fast. Just better than this. Okay, so HDMI Cat Control on and off. That's if you want to have HDMI talk from one unit to the other. HDMI audio out as amplifier, which is this. Even though it's not an amplifier, you could also have HDMI audio out to the television, so it would pass audio through and then to the TV for whatever reason you want to do that. Standby video is on, which means when I shut this off, it'll still pass video through it, which is how it had to be used because I didn't want to run this thing all the time. Volume mode, you could either go true gain or like you could either have volume go 0 to 100 or go -80 to 0 to +10. That's the way I prefer. And no audio standby. You could set a timer. If it doesn't detect audio, it'll shut off and go to sleep. That's the options. Speaker setup. Okay. Size and crossover. Now I've set everything to large. I sent the front to large and surround to large. Center to none. Back, left, right to none. Front height, none. Because you could either have back, left, right, or front heights. You could change the purpose of those. And then how many rear channels is either 1 or 2 or none. And then subwoofer, yes, and the crossover. And then double bass. These are all basic surround sound setups. Then you get... Did you see what it just did? So here I can go to the bottom to go to the top, but I can't on anything else. If you hold the button down... Did you watch it? So holding the button down to scroll down. Now I'm going to let go. It went like fucking 15 other jumps. So you got to press it, because if you hold for like 1, 2, 3, 4, let go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fucking 11 fucking jumps. Stop. stop. You can use the front buttons to this as well, which not many people are going to be sitting in front of it with their TV behind them like this. I mean, it would be fine if I was over there and this was mounted to the side. I would just need the volume control. I need a power button and a volume knob, and if I need to change anything, I would have probably gotten real good at just flicking around to the menu. I like the way these buttons sound, by the way. But okay, so large, move over, large, up, none, down, large, down, small. And then you change the frequency cutoff. So if I'm using those speakers, it would be large. And if I'm using small pair of powered monitors, because another thing is you can just hook self-powered monitors up to this. You don't need amplifiers. I mean, I'm fucking running a headphone amp. I could run these RCAs into that and run tubes out of it if I really felt like it. But you change the cutoff frequency. So 40 hertz is a little low. Let's raise it up to like 67, 80. 80 is a THX standard. So then you hit back, then you hit back. Now I hit something before that changed everything from large to small and small to large without me fucking wanting to do it. Just a quirk. I don't know what did it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. What I do want to talk about is this is something that is, again, not found in normal surround receivers. This is the slope control. And if you don't know what that means, if you looked at an EQ, I talk about it in the mini DSP. When you look at like a cutoff, like, all right, we're cutting this off at 80 hertz, the subwoofer. So here's the thing. If it goes like this, that's like a 12 decibel cutoff. But if you set it like the subwoofer slope here is at 24, that's like this. A little more gentle. So it doesn't just cut off immediately. It sort of lets some of the frequencies blend a little better. And you could set 12 or 24 for any of the channels. Front, center, surround, back. Like sloping the center differently would probably be okay, because you want to cut off a lot of the low end from the center, but you have a lot going on there. You kind of want to keep some of those frequencies a little bit more in the center. See how I would change the center slope to 24. That's a nice option. That's just a fucking nice option. I wish other things had that. They might now. I don't know. I haven't played with a new surround receiver in like 6 years. I mean, I've touched them, but I haven't like dug into them. Test tone, front left, center, nothing, front right, surround, wait, surround right, left back, left, right, surround left, subwoofer, there is no subwoofer hooked up, back to the front channels. And you get to adjust it in decibels of half a decibel, up and down 10. Speaker distance, I didn't touch this. Obviously there's no speakers to change the distance of, and I can't set like 1 inch for the front channels. But you can change front, center, all these distances in half decimal increments, half foot increments. And I don't know what the maximum is. I don't want to find out. Do you really want to sit here and find out? I don't either. Although, it would be interesting to find out. Actually, I'm going to hold this button, because I feel like I'm killing the remote control just doing this. So we're at 17 feet. We're at 22 feet. We're at 28 feet. 30 up there. I could have gone down. Oh, it's doing the thing. It's just going up. It's still going up. Oh, now it's going down. I think 33 feet is as far as it goes. Yeah, 33 and a half feet. You could sit as a maximum of 33 and a half feet from your speaker. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try something. I'm going to say that the front left is 33 and a half feet away, but the front right's at 0. So we'll see what that does when I put the headphones back on and play something. It should make a very, very obvious audible difference, because that would mean the front left would have to play sooner so that it has time for the sound to get to me, and the right would be slightly delayed. That's what it should do. LFE level. Now you can change for different Dolby setups and multi-PCM and DTS that when it detects that mode, change the decibel of the subwoofer. And I've never had to play with this. Like, I've always found it's been pretty good. But some people need to change it. What I would want to do is, if you are playing music, which means stereo, then you have the sub bump up, but that doesn't have an option here. So we're just going to back out of that. So that's the speaker setup. Size crossover. So now, the real reason, this is it. This is it, everybody. How far into this video are we? 33 minutes? with the cat and everything, 35 minutes. Auto room / EQ. So the calibration that their microphone hooked up to this deals with is called Emo-Q. Can't make this shit up. And you can hit calibrate, or you can go into it and turn it on and off, or you could select it. I had it on flat. I'm not doing any corrections. I can show you what it's capable of doing, though, in the manual EQ. So here's manual EQ. If you hit right, even though it's like a hidden menu, it's like hidden. It's like, I can select things, but there's nothing to the right. What if I hit right again? Oh, I found a treasure chest with 100 gold. So in here, this is why people buy this unit. Because you get to pick the channel, front, left, center, right, surround left, surround right, back left, subwoofer. And you get to play God. If you don't have a mini DSP, Nano AVR, this will suffice. It's just going to take you some time. So, okay. Let me scroll down. There are 11 bands of equalization. And you can copy from one to the other. And you can take all these bands, like here. Band 1 is 27 hertz. If I hit enter on that, I can literally change to 2879 or 2803 or 2655. You can parametrically EQ your speakers with 11 bands each. I don't like the treble out of those speakers. I have cotton ball stuffed in there, but I wanted to trim the treble just the slightest bit. Don't leave it. We would go down, we would find the rough area where the treble hurts the most. Oh, it's doing that thing! That was not me faking a yell. That was me yelling. Every once in a while, I am like, I put on like a fake yell. That was a real yell. So band 10 is 7,800 hertz. Go there. Maybe we'll put it down to like 747, 727, 707, 6,880. 6,700. So we're going to pick the exact frequency we want to lower. We're going to move over. We're going to be able to raise and lower the gain of that in quarter decibel increments. Not half, quarter decibel increments. I want to see how far it goes. It should be 10 again. I'm assuming it's 10 since everything else is 10 dB. Nope, I'm wrong. It's more than 12. 13, 14, 15 decibels. So you get to pick 11 band equalizer that you can adjust the frequencies. It's not like, oh, this particular slider is 20. No. This slider could be anything you want. And then you have not 12, but 15 decibels of adjustment. And then the Q adjustment. Now, for those of you who don't know what the Q adjustment is, and that looks like it's an eighth of a Q. And we can go up to, I'm going to see. It's going to keep going. I'm going to hold this button down. The Q adjustment, so imagine a flat line, here's your equalizer, right? Well, you want to take 1,000 hertz and you want to make it higher. But the Q adjustment is it a peak like this? Or do you want to sort of flatten it out? You want to take like everything around 1,000 hertz up with it. How smooth do you want that adjustment? Do you want it to be very, very fucking tight? Like you just only want 1,000, like 999 hertz and 1,001 hertz, and then a peak in the middle. Do you want like that fucking murder peak? Or do you want to sort of like spread it out and bring it down? That's what the Q value adjusts. And I'm still going at the Q value of like 19, 20, 23, 20 fucking 1.5, 20, what? It's so slow. That's another thing. It's just so slow. 24. You could adjust it to 24. Let me see. I'm going to go up to this next one and go down. You can get a Q value of 0.25 to 24. So every channel has this. That's 7 channels, not 8. I'll explain why it's not 8. Because the subwoofer doesn't have manual EQ, the front channel, Center. Let's go. Oh, God. No, no, no. We can't go left. We have to go right. You have to go to the right to pick the one you want. Subwoofer. Subwoofer only has 3 bands of EQ, but it's just like the rest of it. You could take 78 hertz, make it 76, make it 74, make it 72. You could adjust the decibel change in quarter decimal increments. And then you could adjust the Q value. So you can do manual room correction on every speaker. And that's why people buy this. Because the same people who want trim adjustments on the remote as a button want to be able to sit down and dick. I want to dick with it. I want to dick with it. Now you could use the microphone, or you could use Room Equalization Wizard, and then sit there, measure your room per speaker, and then sit there and just fuck with everything. There's definitely a hump at like the 75 hertz range. So let's just pull that out of there. Let's move this exactly where that hump is. Lower it down and spread it out. Spread. You don't find that on a Denon or Marantz. This is all the shit I'm giving this unit is basically absolved once you understand that, yes, it looks like it's a fucking video game console loading thing from 1999, but you can reach in there and touch everything. The DACs are good enough. I've listened to it. I know they're good enough. It wouldn't bother me, although I was, again, benchmark guy. He says the mini DSP, there is a mini DSP that is USB that will output up to 8 stereo coaxial digital channels, which means you can hook up to your computer, you can get 4 stereo DACs of your choosing, and then set the computer to output PCM and use every one of those as its own output. And then as long as you're using a computer as your output, you can fuck with it and dealio with it. You could bypass any internal DACs. Might be something for my future, but I want Mini DSP to send that to me for free. I am not... What, the cat's not here, is she? Oh, the menu timed out. I wasn't touching anything. What menu times out? I didn't even see an option to adjust that. Actually, wait, we gotta see if the trim... You don't actually have to watch. Oh yeah, there's a totally different... One speaker, the left side's what's supposed to be 33 feet away. It's definitely a sound, like the sound is weird. By the way, Mike Myers. Great scene, by the way. He's such a dick. Dick. All right. Let me give you my overall thoughts because I'm going to link to the timestamp here. I think this unit is slightly overpriced. I think at $500 where I bought it 3 years ago, I'm settling on 3 years. I think where I bought it 3 years ago at $500, it was perfect. I could overlook the slowness of the menu, the crappiness of the remote. I can overlook not having Bluetooth because surround sound processors are hard to get. The only other option is you can get a real full receiver like I have that has pre-outs. Because all we're really doing is getting this. You're getting a signal for your amplifiers. You want to use bigger, badder amplifiers than what is built into a surround receiver. And this accomplishes that, but so does a receiver with pre-outs. Any receiver with pre-outs. So what's the benefit? Why am I investing $730 on this and not just buying a regular surround sound receiver that has full pre-outs? I'm going to link to this. I'm going to link to whatever else I said I was going to link to. Headphones and amps. There'll be just one example of a surround receiver that costs less than this in the description that has full pre-outs. So that means you can go and get your Emotiva amp stack and just stick a Denon or an Onkyo, whatever I find, Stick it on top, wire up RCA. Will the DACs in it be as good as this? Don't know. I'd have to sit there and listen. Will it have the options to adjust like this does? No, it won't. That I can guarantee you it will not. There are other options out there. There are mini DSPs. That one I have, the one that I was trying to get working. Where is it? Hold, please. Here. Full review of this coming. In fact, I'm probably going to do it right here on this desk right now, actually, because I just need to show this off. This is the mini DSP Nano AVR HD, and it's just HDMI's in, 1 out, Ethernet, USB, and 5 volt. And what this does is all that shit I was just like swooning over, like, oh my god, you could adjust the Q values in it. Yeah, take that and give it an actual graphical interface and make it about, oh, I don't know, fucking 15 times as powerful as far as delays and channel mixing. And this little box, which I think I paid almost $300 for, $279 I think, shits on what this is trying to do. And then they make a version of this with Dirac Live, which is one of the premier room correcting softwares. That's $200 more. But then you could take this, hook it up to any surround processor, or get the one that has 8 channels out, but then you'd be using the DACs inside of it. So the fact that this exists means that all that shit that I just went through, if you're an owner of one of these, you don't have to dick with it in that terrible menu. You could slap this little box inside of it if you're feeling like it, because there's so much extra space. Then I don't know how you'd hook it up. But this does miraculous things. If it works, which it doesn't, not always, but I'm going to try again. Put that down there. Put my little mini DSP stack. Oh, also that only passes through 1080p. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? Because, you know, 1080p, talking about old school and how this has got an old menu. Support 4K, you bastard. It doesn't. I'm done with this review and ranting. I just need to get this out of the way. I'm tired of it sitting here, and now it's sitting here not even functioning because I moved the computer there, and therefore only that screen's hooked up to it. So it's just going to sit here dead. I want to use it. I want to play with it. I wanted to complain about it. I want there to be another. The MC700 has to come out at some point, and it should be $500 firm, and it needs to have not that menu. Whatever it costs to engineer the fucking menu to be a transparent window so I could adjust things while the movie is actually playing, that's how you adjust things. Like, I don't know how you could enter into it and go in. Like, I know this is a unit for nerds. This is a unit for nerds. I'm a nerd. I'm an audio nerd. I'm beyond this. I'm this level an audio nerd, not this level audio nerd. This is like entry level audio nerd. I'm all the way at like mini DSP fuckery and converting things back to digital for transport. I'm out there, man. So I understand what the benefits are. It just takes whatever this length of this video is, 50 fucking minutes to get to that. We good? Is it over? I think it's over. All right, here. Let me just check. Advanced EmoQ, base management, top quality parts throughout the years. I mean, there's nothing in it. So, anything else I forgot? I think we're good. Anything else you need to know? If it's still $729, I think you look. There's other ones out there. I'm gonna try to get them, but at $729, it's high. $600. All right, you're already going for the more expensive route because you're buying separate amplifiers. So I figure they must figure they're just squeezing another $200 out of you. What the fuck's the difference? And please support fucking loading the firmware with not FAT32, because all my cards are either FAT-EX or NTFS, and it would just be so much easier. Get that wallpaper in the description. All my wallpapers, I guess I have to find this one too. $2 a month gets you into the Patreon, which gives you wallpapers and an occasional review early. $5 a month gets you every review early. Every single one of them. And that's good because if you do something I really, really, really like, they don't sell out. See Swan M3As. Those things were gone like that. You also get to the yard sale. I'm not yard selling this, although the price did go up. It's literally gained $230 in value since I bought it 3 years ago. That's better than most stocks do, by a lot. I should have bought a stack of them. Yard sales 1st to the 10th of every month. Things that I've been given by companies or sent or purchased myself or fans have been like, hey, I don't need this anymore. Put it on the thing, yard sale, sell it, feed your cat. That ends up there. I ship free continental United States. I ship half price international. $10 tier, private Telegram chat on my phone. Inside behind the scenes information. And anything above the $10 tier, you're just a crazy person and I love you. Do you want me to love you? Maybe I can let you pick wallpapers. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's it. I'm going to put the cover back on this. Here's the wad of screws. Always keep around a little magnet so you just shove all the screws in there. Like a Catarasi Damasi. We done? We're done. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you for anyone who made it all the way through this video. Watch time actually matters, and if I made really short videos, I'd be better off monetarily. But I don't, because I need to say a lot of shit a lot of the time, and I don't want to kick my cat out. So we're done with this, and I'm done with it. I hope you're done with it. Moving on. I know, this video's long. Fucking an hour long. But look. I hooked up I'm going to review the mini DSP, so I hook it up to the number 4. Now I get on-screen display working. Finally. So you can see the volume. And then when I hit the menu, it plays behind the menu. So all that shit I was complaining about is at least a little touch of it is undone. Look, you can see it through it. Still, everything else is the same. Also, I went to go shut off that front being 33 feet because it was weirding out the headphones. So I'm using this to listen. And for a split second, want to know how fucky it is? It said 83 feet, and the delay was like a second, and it was like a ridiculous. And then I couldn't get it back to 83 feet, which I thought was hilarious. So yeah, apparently, if I sit here and I eat candy, German candy, and I hook up another laptop to control this and that through this, and I'm filtering it all through this, well, it works. Why? Anyway, mini DSP Nano AVR review coming.